Alright, it's recording.
And there was something I was going to tell you too. Oh, let me take that. I'll take that back. Oh, you finished. You finally saw What We Do in the Shadows. You finished that.
You mean
Girl
Only
Walks
Lovers
Home. Girl Walks Home.
Only Lovers
In the
Left
dark.
Alive.
Huh?
Only Lovers Left Alive, you mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet.
You haven't finished it yet.
No.
Okay. How much have you seen?
They just got back together like 20 minutes after that.
Okay.
About 45 minutes, hour.
Gotcha. Oh, nice. It's gonna be good.
All right.
Cool. So do we do the clap and the take thing?
Yeah, sure. Matinee prices. Only take, because we shoot this shit in one take with no editing.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, welcome to the first episode, our pilot episode, I guess, of Matinee Prices. I'm Cameron Price.
I'm Huru Price.
And we both...
That's the name of the show.
That's the name of the show. And we just love movies. So we decided to make a show where we talk about movies. As simple as that.
Yeah.
Digital age.
Yeah.
You want to do something, you just friggin' do it. Huru and I met working at a video store called VizArt Video. This is my official VizArt t-shirt. You probably can't see it from there, but
Don't worry, you'll hear more about it.
you'll hear more about it later. Huru and I met working at VizArt Video. It was a small, locally owned video chain specific to the Triangle area, Chapel Hill, Carborough, and Durham, North Carolina. At one point, I think we had 7 stores, and then
7.
and then once Netflix and Redbox started to hit, we had 6 stores, and then a couple years later we had 4 stores, and then there was 1 store. And as far as I know, the Charlotte store, VizArt Video Unlimited, is still open.
That's the name?
VizArt Video Unlimited. Yeah,
Really?
because they couldn't call it VizArt Video. They didn't have the right.
Right,
name,
but they didn't just change it completely?
No, I guess
just
they did.
Unlimited?
No, I think they wanted to keep,
Okay.
like
Justice League Unlimited?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
It can't be Justice League anymore. Why not? Just put something on there.
VizArt Video was the Justice League of video stores.
That's actually true. That's actually true.
VizArt Video specialized in all types of movies. Like no matter what, it was the true independent video store. Like whatever you were into, VizArt had it. And if it didn't have that exact specific movie, it had something like it.
What was cool about the place was, unlike the major chains like your Blockbuster or your Hollywood, VizArt, we still kind of say we when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Had subgenre of subgenre of subgenre. We had directors sections of directors you probably haven't heard of, or I hadn't heard of.
People
at the time.
I had never heard of or weren't familiar with until I had never heard of Hal Hartley,
Herzog,
or Jim Jarmusch, or Vim Vendors, or I like before I started working at VizArt Video, I could count the number of foreign films I had seen on one hand.
Yep.
And so working at that place, it kind of changed me from just a guy who liked movies to a guy who got movies. To like, it taught me how to appreciate cinema. And I started working there when I was really young, so I was working around people who were older than me, and I learned stuff about movies from them. I would have older people, the older employees, be like, "Oh, you should check this out. You should check this out." And but a great thing about it was the type of store you could just wander around, and something would jump out at you, and you could always surprise yourself.
That's basically what this show is about. Since it's closed, we and some other people who were either worked at VizArt or were attendees and
or great customers,
continue to talk about and look for and discuss movies, not just your major blockbusters like your Marvel movies or Transformers or anything that sells in the millions and hundred millions, but the small stuff, the independent stuff, the stuff that maybe you hadn't heard of, because that's what VisArt's kind of specialized in.
Yeah.
You know, we would have one or two copies of Chinese movie, Taiwanese movie, Czech movie, independent, you know, something that was maybe even local in North Carolina, something a couple of guys in Arkansas or Alabama or Southern California made that they managed to get on a DVD, but, you know, made $200 and cost $5,000.
But it would end up on the shelves at VisArt.
But it would still find its way to VisArt.
And if it was a good movie, and oftentimes they were, it was the type of thing where, you know, the employees would recommend stuff, or we would pass it around between the other employees, and word of mouth. A lot of movies take off because of word of mouth.
So
and
that's what this is.
That's what this show
that's
is.
What we're going to continue doing, and we'll see how it goes. We figured we'd start off with, one, where we're coming from and the mentality, and then introduce ourselves and kind of why we're doing this. I personally, myself, my favorite movie was Aliens. And it's one of those things, I saw it when I was young. It's the sequel.
Make sure
it's the sequel. Yeah. Now, I saw the sequel first before I saw the first one. So
but you also love that one, too.
I also love that one, too. But
Sigourney Weaver.
We're talking Cameron, James Cameron, not this Cameron. Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn.
Friggin' Paul Reiser. Well, mad about yous, Paul. My two dads, Paul Reiser.
Michael Biehn, who was again with Cameron in the first Terminator. We're talking.
Michael Biehn was in everything.
Bill Paxton was Twister, with Helen Hunt.
Lance
Henriksen.
Mr. Henriksen.
Who Millennium. Jeanette Goldstein, who, if you may not heard of, we'll recommend later a movie that Cameron did called Perfect Dark.
Near Dark.
And had.
Well, Catherine Bigelow directed it.
Right, Bigelow.
Jane Cameron's wife.
So we're talking, who's that? Goldstein and Paxton and
Henriksen.
Michael
Biehn. It's just the toughest cat. Just the.
It's one of those things
just
like
the most macho cast you could ask for.
And that movie. Oh, and producer Galen Hurd,
who now does The
Walking Dead. So it's. I like to say I have good taste, in movies, and like all these incredible people who are involved in just this one movie and what they've done and given us since then. But for a while there, that was kind of it was a good start, but, it was kind of it. I couldn't say too much on movies after that. It was, mostly Indiana Jones and more Star Wars and Lethal Weapon, all the major blockbusters, and I was into action. And that was my deal. Man, I have not seen this version of this movie.
We have a movie in the background, and there's a lot of nudity.
Yeah. It was like, I didn't realize it was going to be like that. But,
yeah.
So the lot of the stuff that I will recommend, while it will be, it'll have an edge to it, dark, serious, gritty, but hopefully will be quality, just like my favorite movie of all time.
You're a big fan of the melding of genres, like me, and Aliens was kind of like, it was a horror movie, but it was also like a military action movie.
It was horror, it was action, and it was
funny. There's a lot of comedy in that movie. It's a funny ass movie.
It was funny stuff, and it was a strong female lead role. Like it had gotten obviously its genesis from the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
But really blossomed in that second one, and that's kind of big for me. And I didn't realize it was such a rare thing at the time for that sort of thing to happen. So a lot of times I'll even gravitate to those. Let's see the female perspective, or at least, if not their specific perspective, then have them in the lead, have them kick ass, have them, let them wield the gun for a while.
And I feel like Alien and the sequel Aliens, paved the way for like Linda Hamilton in Terminator, or Charlize Theron in the new Mad Max.
Yep. Gina Davis. Long Kiss Goodnight. Yeah.
But
Alias. We can go on the Alias. J.J. Abrams.
And they're still, they're still making up ground, and it's still like not so common to see like a badass female lead, but
J-Law.
you know, baby steps. You know, it's like, you know, progress is being made. But you're right.
Yeah.
You know, in the late '70s, I mean, the only like badass female I could even come up with, like before the Alien movies, would be like the blaxploitation films that Pam Grier would be in.
Exploitation and
Yeah.
Pam Grier specifically, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's my deal. That's where I'm coming from, and hopefully I'll continue to do that. And well, I plan on doing it, whether you like it or not. But hopefully you will like it. Yeah, so that's me. So I know Cameron's to introduce himself.
My name is Cameron Price, and much like my compatriot here, I grew up in a very small town, so getting to see movies was kind of a treat, kind of a big deal, something like, and you know, way back in the 80s, you know, it wasn't, you couldn't just go online and download a movie, or you didn't have a collection of DVDs to choose from, so getting to go to the movies, or the maybe once or twice a week that you made the trek to the local video store, was kind of a big deal. So and my mom was a big movie nut, so she was always taking me to movies. Every Sunday we would go to the movies, and you know, at least once or twice a week we'd go to the video store. She would get a movie for her, she would let me pick out a movie for myself. So I found a lot of solace in movies, you know, and at the time, you know, you're just a kid, you're just watching movies, but you're learning without realizing it. You know, you can make associations. You'll remember, like, oh, I've seen this actor in this movie and I really like, so he's got this other movie coming out, or this specific director or an actress or somebody, and it kind of leads you down a path of like finding other movies and, you know, exploring, you know, the kind of things that you like to see in movies. I'd say I'd be hard pressed to say like what my favorite movie is. I can say that literally one of my first conscious memories that I have is seeing Star Wars in the theater for the first time it was re-released. So we're talking maybe 4, maybe 5 years old, but I remember watching Star Wars, and so that was a big deal to me. You know, a 5-year-old boy seeing Star Wars. I mean, God, for the first time in theaters, I mean, forget about it. So for me, even though I would say technically Empire is the superior film,
Sure.
but kind of like with Aliens and Alien with you, you know, like I saw Star Wars first.
Right.
So for me, my heart was in Star Wars, and I could just kind of relate to it, and it just, you know, and when Star Wars came out, there had never really been anything like that. Science fiction was still kind of viewed as this kind of weird subgenre that was just for kids, and it wasn't really taken seriously. But now, you know, the biggest money makers are always, like, if you looked at the top 20 money making movies of all time, you're gonna see the Star Wars movies, the Lord of the Rings movies, the Harry Potter movies, like
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic
Fantasy,
Park. Sci-fi and fantasy are the rule the box office. All the Marvel comic movies.
Avatar. Cameron.
Yeah. So I would say Star Wars would be like my first movie, because it's just, you know, the first thing I saw, and it's got a place in my heart. Another that I would say is that I enjoy equally for different reasons would probably be Woody Allen's Annie Hall, and I saw that as an adult. I never saw Annie Hall as a kid, and if I had, I wouldn't have liked it. But as an adult, if you're kind of if you have like if you have a bit of like hopeless romantic to you, it's a good movie.
A little bit.
But at the same time, it kind of flipped the idea of romantic comedies in that they're not together at the end of the movie.
Right.
It was
Well, don't tell them.
Everyone's seen Annie Hall.
Yeah,
Come on. If you haven't seen Annie Hall, fuck you.
No, well, don't do that to the young people who still like who are never gonna get to go into Viz Art.
Okay, they totally stay together. I didn't ruin anything.
We'll edit that part out.
Yeah. But it broke a lot of movies didn't break the fourth wall. It's common for like a character to just stop what he's doing and talk to the camera now in a movie, but and I'm not going to say Annie Hall was the first movie to do that, but first one I can think of, and to be done well and often, and they blended fantasy elements and animation, and had funny little Sigourney Weaver has a little cameo. I mean, a tiny part. Christopher Walken is in a scene. He's hilarious.
You're probably gonna find like almost not saying it's still our opinion or whatever, but the quality of our picks can sort of be rated by the fact that we're gonna start naming a lot of people over and over again.
Yeah.
Because their quality and the stuff that they do is quality, and there's gonna be a theme with names.
I imagine we'll talk about Christopher Walken a lot, just because he's freaking Christopher Walken. God damn.
We'll talk about Walken because it's Walken. But like even the Star Wars thing, most of the time we're not.
And Christopher Walken was one of the front runners to play Han Solo.
Well, it's Han Solo.
Yeah.
But we'll probably not talk too much about the big major blockbusters because we want to touch on the stuff that people have missed, and that's what we did at Vizart.
Yeah.
But we will have a special episode about Star Wars.
Exactly.
We got to talk about
this.
That.
Is just to kind of give you a little background on if this is a show you're going to want to watch. We just want to give you a little insight. Listen to. We just want to give you a little insight as to who we are. If you're in our age group, you probably...
Don't mention age group.
If you're in your mid-20s like we are...
There you go.
You probably love Star Wars. If you appreciate like really well-made, well-written movies, you probably love Annie Hall. And if you love a good, badass action movie with a strong female, you probably love Aliens. So right now we're talking about movies that you've seen, but this is our jumping off point. This is like, these movies are kind of the things that shaped us, but each of these three movies, even though they were mainstream, starred like recognizable actors, they were all kind of, I don't want to say they were all groundbreaking, but they all kind of were, you know? And,
right. Well, now, see, that's why we're not going to touch on age groups, because now there's Jennifer Lawrence in Hunger Games. Now there's new Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now there's Marvel.
Exactly.
Now we're waiting on, I guess Scarlett Johansson's not going to get a Black Widow movie, but Captain Marvel is supposed to get one.
And
so
the sequel to Ant-Man is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
And it'll be, there'll be co-stars, there'll be equals.
So, so they can,
And Evangeline Lilly killed it in Ant-Man. She was great.
What we're here to do, because everybody's going to know about those. When Jennifer Lawrence does some big thing like that, everybody's going to know about that. But we're going to talk about, like chocolate.
But we'll talk about Winter's Bone.
We'll definitely
talk about Winter's Bone.
And Bone Tomahawk. And chocolate. And a whole bunch of others.
Not the Johnny Depp, not Chocolat. We might talk about that.
You can talk about that.
We can do like a Johnny Depp episode.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
But no, chocolate, not Chocolat.
Yeah, not Chocolat. We'll talk about Raid, Redemption and Raid 2. Yeah.
We'll talk about,
and the fact that it looked just like Dredd.
We'll talk about Ong Bak
and Protector.
District B13.
District B13.
Which was remade, American remake as Brick Mansions, one of Paul Walker's last films. Wasn't very good, but they did cast the same French guy from District B13.
One of them.
No, he was in both of them.
But there were two of them in the original.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Paul Walker plays the other guy.
Yeah. But anyway, we just wanted to introduce ourselves. You can already tell that we like to ramble, but we like to ramble about movies. We'll talk about movies.
This is what we did at Vizart between waiting on customers. Essentially, this
is what we did with customers.
We got paid to do what we're doing now.
Yeah, poorly, very poorly.
Yeah,
but we dug it, so it was okay.
It's they say if you can make money doing something that you love, then it's not really work. And even though we didn't make great money, I never, as long as I worked at Vizart, I don't think I ever dreaded going to work.
Nope.
And, unless it was a snow day and we knew there would be a line to the back of the store. But even then, it's like, well, it'll move fast.
Or work drama.
Yeah. Or, there was a little bit of work drama. Yeah. And towards the end...
Which made sense, because it was a movie place.
It was a movie place.
So, yeah.
There was also work comedy and work action and work horror.
And work porn, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just because Vizart had an adult room, and... Ironically enough, none of us wanted to go back there. We had to reshelve it, but yeah, we kind of drew straws or...
That place was a nightmare.
So, it was work. So,
yeah.
That's what... But anyway, that's us.
That's where we come from. If you dig or can relate to the stuff that we're talking about, this show is for you. We don't... we know not everybody's going to sit and watch a full-length show where it's just two guys on the couch talking about movies, but
if
you are the type of person then you're the exact person we're going for. And if you just stumble upon this and you happen to like what we're talking about, and like I said, we're shooting the first episode. We don't have any of these online yet. We don't know exactly when they're going to be up. We don't know, they'll be out there in some capacity. We have a local public access channel called the People's Channel. We hope to get a deal with them to where we can see it. Like, this show will be available. Like, it'll be out there. The age of the internet. You record something, you put it online, it's out there.
We signed a deal with Miramax.
If this is...
Miramax, that's
we're
money.
We're making $8 an episode, baby.
That's money. That's Pulp Fiction, Miramax.
If this is...
Yeah.
But if this is the kind of stuff you dig, then please... tune in. If you're watching this episode, it means that made it onto the net or TV in some capacity. There will be many others, and because this is what we like to do, and we're not going to stop doing it. And even if we're just doing it for us and our handful of friends, that's cool. We make some new friends along the way, and if you see this and it's insightful, if this is online and you want to comment, go ahead, good or bad, speak your mind. If you're gonna speak your mind, speak it about movies. Exactly.
Yeah.
And if like I said, if this is online,
we know we're not good looking. That's fine. That ship has sailed.
This
let's
ain't
talk
for
about
us.
movies. Yeah.
Don't be body shaming us over here. We both wear glasses and we're both kind of goofy. All right,
fine.
we fucking get it.
That's fine. Movies or even T-shirts. We both dig T-shirts.
We both dig T-shirts.
T-shirts about movies.
Well, movies about T-shirts.
Oh, there you go. Would you like to talk about beans? What about George Wendt?
Do you enjoy movies about George Wendt eating beans?
Eating beans?
You want to take a survey? If anybody got that reference, come back, because we're going to be making little tangents like that all the time, because that's the screwed up way our brains work.
I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, but like I said, if you want to comment on this, please do. If you say, hey, talk about this movie, maybe it's something we didn't think of, maybe it's something we've never seen, and suggest something. We'll check it out. If we dig it, we'll do an episode about it. We still find movies all the time that we just stumble upon, stuff we've never heard about.
Yep.
So if you got an idea, throw it out to us. If it's good and we can find it, we'll check it out. We'll get back to you.
If it's not good, we still might do it. So just throw it out there. Yeah. All right. So signing off. We'll see you soon. And next time we'll try to do better.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hi. If you'd like to learn more about video stores, check out this book, Last Days of Video, from Soft Skull Press, written by Jeremy Hawkins, a former VisArt employee. If you remember VisArt Video, if you miss VisArt, or just video stores in general, you're going to love this book. It was written by a man who was there for the good times and the bad times. And it's a very good read. It's funny. It's heartwarming. It's a great book. It's written by, like I said, a former VisArt employee, good friend of ours, good friend of the show. Hopefully we'll have him as a guest on a future episode. If you like things that are awesome, you will like this book. I promise. It was written by a man who knows movies and loves movies, and it comes through. It's very cinematic, the way it's written. And like I said, I can't say enough good things about it. Brain fart. I had something clever. Oh yes, my clever thing. Remember, kids, a book is just a movie that you watch up here. Check it out. The Last Days of Video. We'll see you next week.